Hello, and welcome back to Bad Points. I appreciate everyone who, for whatever reason, listens to me. I was actually pretty surprised because I post the episodes on YouTube, but I don't do YouTube. So I'm not sure how to maximize my return on the invested time on YouTube. Some people study it. They say, oh, I have to comment on this many videos, tag this many people, post short clips on YouTube, post on this day and this day at this time and at this time, reply to every comment. There are ways to maximize your return for your time investment on YouTube, and I don't do that stuff. I think YouTube is as a social media, which every site is effectively social media now. Even Spotify has comment section, messaging system, things of that nature. They're all kind of becoming the same thing. Back in the day, Facebook was very different from Twitter, which was very different from YouTube. Now you got TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Rumble. They're all trying to become a place for you to post your media, your videos, your audio, and also have messaging systems, bulletin boards, message boards. They're all becoming the same thing, which makes sense. You want to take the best elements of all the other platforms and put them on your platform, and they're all doing that. Thus, they are all becoming the same thing, but they're at different levels as far as quality of implementation of certain aspects of the platform. And I don't think YouTube has the social media aspect in a good spot. It's not clean. It's getting there, but it's not there. Long story short, I'm not doing that with YouTube, but I am posting on YouTube, and somehow I have 251 subscribers to YouTube. So if you've subscribed to the YouTube channel, I appreciate it. I know that that is a good thing and you want more subscribers, but I didn't even do it for the subscription. To get subscribers, I did it because I wanted to get my message out, my messages out. I have things that I think are very important and I want to talk about them. I want to be part of the public square that is social media. I believe X is the preeminent town square. That's where most of the conversation happens. The most relevant initiated people are on there having discussions and posting their news and whatnot. But I do appreciate the subscribers on YouTube. That's my point. I knew I'd get to my point eventually, but thank you very much if you subscribed. If you didn't subscribe, go ahead. I'm not against it just because I haven't been trying to make it happen. But at any rate, I do post the clips and I'm getting good views on the clips, so I appreciate that as well. If that's all you do is watch the clips and maybe like it, that's cool. That's fine. You don't even have to like it. At any rate, I um I was thinking the other day, I was listening to a podcast. I don't remember what it was. I listen to so many podcasts and YouTube shows and reels like everybody else. So I'm not sure where it was from, but someone mentioned people who keep putting off repenting of their sins and dedicating their life to Jesus, thinking, well, I will do it at some point. I'm not ready right now. And that made me think, man, that's like playing with fire, you know, almost in a literal sense, because the penalty for eternal damnation is, well, let me rephrase that. The penalty for not accepting Jesus into your life and following him, letting him lead you through life, repenting every day. True repentance means purifying yourself and not repeating the sins. And when you begin to think about repeating the sins, you repent immediately because a sin in your mind is letting a sin into your heart, and you can't do that. That will grow. If you let the seed of sin into your mind, into your heart, it will grow. So you keep saying, I'll get my life right eventually. Well, everyone knows someone who died early. You don't know when you're going to die. You don't know how much time you have. You could say, well, I'm going to dedicate my life to Jesus next year and then die the next day. And I know I've talked about this before, but keep thinking about it because you really are playing with fire, or another way to put it is like you're playing Russian roulette with 5 bullets in the chamber. Every day you wake up, every night you go to sleep, there's a chance you're not going to wake up. You could die in your sleep. You could die the next morning. You could die the next day during lunch. You have no idea. There's so many ways to die. There's a show one time, 1,000 Ways to Die. There's a lot more than 1,000 ways to die, and we are all susceptible to them. And as our nations, almost all the nations, are becoming more dangerous we have governments that we are not in control of. Those governments are bringing in refugees from other cultures. Those other cultures aren't like our cultures. That's what some people don't understand. Just because you think raping a child is the most horrific act, I would never do that. Well, there are a lot of people that don't think like that. Millions and tens of millions of them, in fact. Not because they were born broken, but because they were raised in a culture that is different from yours. We have a strong Christian foundation in our country, even though our government is wholly satanic. That is WHOL, not HOL, entirely wholly satanic. Trump converted to Judaism. He's a satanic pedophile Zionist now. He's on that team. But our country has a strong Christian foundation because it was founded by Christians, founded by European Christians. That's what America is. Some people say, no, it's Native Americans. No, that was not a country. They did not have a country. They were wandering tribes. The origins of the country that I'm living in right now, the United States of America, was founded by European Christians. So we have a strong Christian foundation that was built for hundreds of years. So that's why you're going to get different views of right and wrong, what you ought and ought not do, and what you think you ought and ought not do in your culture is different from other cultures. So when those cultures come over here, there's a cultural clash. They'll rape someone and be like, what's the big deal? We rape all the time where I'm from. Well, you're in a different spot now, right? But yeah, all the countries are becoming more dangerous. You never know when you're going to die. If you're even thinking about dedicating your life to Christ, there's no reason to tarry. Don't delay that decision. You don't know what's going to happen to you. And if you're considering it, if you're strongly considering doing it, turning your life around and putting God first, trying to be like Jesus, repenting of your sins, then you obviously know that it's a better way. So why would you choose to improve your life next year or 10 years from now when you can begin the process today? So don't play with fire. Don't play Russian roulette with 5 bullets in the chamber. Go ahead and start the process now. Change your life. Get the benefits from it. Save your soul. But tell Jesus, hey, I'm doing it right now. Following you right now. I'm going to pray every day right now. Every time a sin enters my mind, I'm going to put my mind on you immediately, ask for forgiveness, and thank you for your grace. Go ahead. I don't know why you would wait. Well, I know why you would wait, because I waited. It's because living a sinful life is fun. Objectifying women is fun. Makes you feel, look what I would do this to her. Man, she's got a good this, she's got a good that. Getting drunk every night's fun. It's fun. Maybe stealing things is fun. I've never enjoyed stealing things. I'm sure I've stolen something before, but I don't enjoy it. But sin is fun. It's instant gratification. But following Christ is long suffering. It's, hey, I'm going to do what I ought to do every single day, and I will be rewarded for doing that in time. And even if you aren't rewarded for that, who cares? You're going to heaven. What's a better reward than that? Eternal damnation in a lake of fire, completely separated from God for eternity. None of the virtues that we take for granted will be there. You don't want that. You're going to get a reward regardless of if you're rewarded to your satisfaction here on earth or not. I'm definitely not a perfect Christian by any means, but I am to the point where I'm grateful for everything I have. I'm going to keep working for more, but if God doesn't want me to have it, I'm not going to get it. That's okay because I have the greatest reward, which is eternal life in his kingdom. So think about that or don't think about it and come to your own conclusion. But please, for the love of God, literally, get on the ball with that. Also, I thought of a parable with a pen, a writing pen. Thought about this while I was driving today. Imagine a pen, an ink pen, as your body. Okay, you write things with it. You write, you know, things that will become historical. You write advice. You write all these things in the world. Maybe you draw pictures. Whatever you want to do with that pen, that is your ink. You only have so much of it, and you use it in the best way that you see fit. Some people use it in better ways than others. Some will write scripture, some will draw a penis. It is what it is. We don't use our ink for the same thing, okay? But eventually, you're going to run out of ink. And in this example, that means you're dead. You're gone. You still got a body, but it's lifeless. You still got a pen, but there's no ink in it, right? So at some point, you're going to run out of ink. And when you run out of ink, that pen is useless. That pen can no longer write, can no longer draw, cannot fulfill its purpose. It's useless. So you're going to die, and then you can do nothing more here on earth. But the ink that you wrote with, that you wrote on things on paper, that's still in the world. You've written, again, documents, manuscripts, you've drawn pictures, whatever you want to do with that pen, you've done it. It's in the world. Your body, the pen is now gone. It's useless. It's going to be thrown away or buried, right? To use the body parallel. But the ink is still out there. So think about what you are writing in the world that when you're gone, when you, the pen, have no more ink and you're out of the picture and people are reading what you wrote and what you drew, think about the fact that that's still going to be there when you're gone. So if you spend all your time writing terrible, horrific things, making fun of people, lying to people, things like that, and then you run out of ink and you're gone, and people read it and say, "Man, I'm kind of glad he ran out of ink. I don't want this here anymore. I'm going to throw this paper away." Or are you going to write great things? Are you going to glorify God? You're going to encourage people. You're going to help people with the ink that you have. And then when you run out of ink and they throw you away, are they going to say, "I'm going to keep this around. This is worth being here on earth." I think that's a good way to kind of paint a picture about your deeds here in life, and then what the fact that those will still be out there when you are gone. Your actions, the things you write, what you do with your ink, it's still going to be here. Do you want it to have a positive effect? Do you want your time here on earth to reverberate positively, or do you want it to drag everyone down? And I think we know the answer to that. We don't want our writing, we don't want the ink that we have used to make things worse for other people. We want to make the world a better place. We want to write positive things, encouraging things. We want to write down wisdom. We don't want to write down nonsense. I've been writing songs since I guess it's been over 20 years now. Most of my songs are completely secular. They don't have nothing to do or little to do with God and Jesus. I have written songs with God and Jesus in mind, but I never mentioned them. And I still love the songs, do still help me when I listen to them because, I was going through a lot of emotional distress during that time. So those songs were my way of working it out. And I can re listen to those and have that rehabilitation of the mind to an extent with that. But I'm writing gospel songs now because I still have ink left. And when I go, I want people to know that I was writing songs for God. I was glorifying the Lord with the gifts that He gave me, the gift of writing. He probably tried to give me the gift of playing the guitar, but I didn't take it seriously. So the gift of writing for sure, and somewhat gift of singing. I want that to be the ink that people remember me for. And I just want you to consider that. I think it's pretty important that your deeds here on earth are positive ones, even if you shouldn't do it to glorify yourself, but I guess that's a byproduct. You should do it to glorify God ultimately. Even if you don't believe in God, don't you want people to remember you well? Don't you want to use your ink in a positive way? Something to think about. Okay, so I also want to bring up, as I bring up pretty much every day on social media for good reason, I see so many people talking about the immigration crisis. It's important. I would love to solve it. That would be great. I'm on board. Let's deport all the illegal immigrants and let's try to get our income up, get our crime down, stabilize our culture so we can agree on everything without bringing new people in who fall for the propaganda that we're trying to warn everyone about. But you just got here, so you don't know that CNN and Fox are owned by Zionists. You have no idea. We want all of those things. You've got other issues, you've got the prosecution of Anthony Fauci. We want him, frankly, publicly hung for his crimes against humanity, all the hell he caused, the economic destruction, the wealth transfer from the middle class to the upper class, the people whose lives he ruined. I know several of them. One of my patients was completely disfigured. She's a prisoner in her own body for the rest of her life. She might live another 30 years. She was in her 50s. She can barely talk. She can barely use her hands. She ain't going to walk. She's not going to stand up. None of that. She's seized up like a frog, like that, because of the shot. So, yeah, I agree. We want to prosecute Anthony Fauci. I agree with all of these issues that we want people, no, we got to focus on this. I get it. I get why you say that. I get why you think that. But you must understand something. If we, meaning me and my fellow citizens, could do it, if we could get rid of all the illegal immigrants, we would have done it. If we could execute Anthony Fauci, we would have done it. We can't do those things. We have to use our government. But here's the catch. As we all know for a fact, our government is controlled via bribes and blackmail by a satanic pedophile network that was created by the nation of Israel. The Mossad, that's their CIA. Our CIA is on board too. It's all captured. We don't control our government. So when you say, we need to get these illegals out, hey, we need to prosecute Fauci, hey, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to execute Bill Gates for creating ticks that give you a meat allergy that kills you when you eat red meat. Yeah, I would love that. But we have to use the government to do that. And we don't control the government. That's why I'm telling you, it is of the utmost importance that we get every Epstein file released and then use our government to go after those people. I understand the problem there. We're asking the government to go against themselves. Yes, that's going to be difficult. Might be impossible. But if we don't do that, nothing else will happen. They'll do whatever they want. They'll deport 2 million of the 100 million that need to go. And they'll say, hey, look what we're doing, a great job. Then they'll post on social media, oh, look how great Trump is. 2 million illegals. Oh, we're going to keep going. And they're not going to. They have no interest in doing that. They are globalists. Do you understand? They don't care about nations, us included. In fact, we've been a public enemy number one to them forever because we're the strongest nation. Why do you think they're flooding us with immigrants? Why do you think they're taxing us all into poverty? Why do you think they're poisoning our food, water, air, vaccines? It's because they don't want us to be here. They don't want us to have power. They don't want us to have any power over them. They want us to be slaves. They want every nation to be slaves to them. They don't care about the nations. They'll build up Israel. They'll build up Ukraine. And if Iran bombs Israel, they'll just go to Ukraine. They'll be like, oh, look, Iran's bad. We live in Ukraine now, but we got to go get Iran. These are globalists. They are in charge of our government. Nothing that you want to happen, nothing that you hope happens is going to happen until we get control of our government. We will never get control of our government if we do not release all the Epstein files and start chopping off the heads of these people who abducted hundreds of thousands of little kids, tortured them, raped them, filled them with drugs. They give them all sorts of prescription drugs, put them into seizures, give them a shot, give them more drugs to wake them back up, rape them, cut them up, ritualistically drain their blood, get them pregnant, take the baby out, sacrifice the baby, drink the adrenochrome. They do all this. This is all real. I'm not making it up. It's public information. It's like Alex Jones always says, This is on record. It's on record. This is all real. They've even acknowledged it at this point. They can't say it's not real. They can say it's a hoax, but we know it's not a hoax. Alex Jones has been talking about this since like 2010. It's been going on forever. These are the elite people of the world. The evil, powerful people have dropped down a ladder and let other evil, powerful people climb up so that they can all protect each other at the top. That's what we're doing right now. That's the game we're playing. It's the reality we live in. That's why all these nations are doing bad. All these nations are falling apart, getting all these immigrants fighting each other while the governments laugh at us because they're controlled by the globalist empire. That's what's happening. So I don't understand, truly, I do not understand how a grown man who's supposed to be a protector, provider, you want women and children to have a revolution? Not going to happen. It's the men. But we have grown men that will throw a fit when their favorite football team loses, but completely ignore the fact that there's a satanic pedophile ring controlling our government who's destroying our nation on purpose. When I say destroying our nation, I don't mean the mountains. I mean everyone in the nation and everything we own. All of our assets, us, our family, and the generations that come after us are going to be destroyed because you don't care. Because you're so distracted by concerts and sports ball that the most important thing in the world is right in front of your face. You know it's real and you ignore it. And I have a sneaking suspicion that most men, grown men, don't talk about it because, one, they don't want people to think they're weird. Seriously, they're going to let their entire nation crumble. They let kids get raped, murdered, dismembered, ritualistically sacrificed because they don't want to look weird. And two, they don't want to lose a friend or two. Well, you know what? If your friend doesn't care about little kids getting raped, tortured, murdered, sacrificed, and our government being controlled by a foreign nation through the satanic pedophile network, if your friends, turn you into a pariah for talking about that, you don't need those people anyway. We don't need those people. We don't want those people here. We don't want people that accept enslavement. We don't want people that accept pedophilia. We don't want people who accept ritualistic Satanists controlling our government. We don't want you here. If you don't want to be my friend because I talk about it, goodbye. Go watch football, dummy. I don't care what you think about me. I'm doing what's right. And if you are a Christian, think about going to heaven and having to have a full account of everything you did here on earth. And then God saying like, wow, you really cared more about sports than you did about those children and yourself and your own family and your grandkids and your great-grandkids. You didn't care about them at all, did you? Really? Man, I can't do that. I'm sorry. I can't do that. I cannot ignore the most horrific acts imaginable happening in and to my country and the people in it, not to mention all the other countries that's happened. Romania, that's like a hot spot for child sex trafficking. They have all these orphanages there from these, quote, Christian churches. They use the orphanages as fronts for child sex trafficking. Okay? I'm sure they do that here too. I bet you I could look it up and figure it out. But my point is, this is completely unacceptable. At no point in human history have people accepted the most evil, depraved, sick, twisted people to rule them without fighting back. Until now. I guess we're the lucky generation that gets to live through this, where we look around and these other grown, hairy men with beards and big muscles like, well, I don't know about that, but I mean, the game's about to come on. I got out of beer. Oh my God, this is the worst day ever. Meanwhile, some kid's getting raped in the basement with people wearing demon masks. That's just pathetic, man. I'm no better than anyone else. I'm not saying all this to make myself, I'm not doing much. I'm just talking about it. Can you at least do that? Talk about it? Mention it to people? I can't even talk politics anymore until I bring that up because it's the most important thing. People, what do you think about Iran? Oh, that's pretty bad. I wish we could stop it, but we can't because our government's being controlled by a satanic pedophile ring through bribes and blackmail. Yeah, Iran sucks. What are you going to do about it? Tell your government to fix it? They're the ones doing it. No one wants it. It's like it got like a 20%. The war has like a 20% approval rating or something like that. Something just abysmal. So yeah, keep asking the government, or like these damn near retarded Trumpers still. I get if you were a Trumper in 2016, that made sense. But now, when he said, "You still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? Still talking about that guy?" Yeah. Yeah, man. I know you want us to forget about it because you've joined that team, but yeah, that's the most important issue in the world, not just in our country. Yeah, we're still talking about it. And Trump's going to go down in history forever as a satanic pedophile Zionist. He will. Even if he kills, not he, I mean, he'd be part of it, but even if the globalists kill half of us, the half left over is going to never forget, never forget what y'all did. That's what happens when you put when all you care about is rewards here on earth, you'll do anything to get it. You think Trump cares if he goes to heaven or hell? He doesn't care. He doesn't believe in that. He just wants, oh, I can turn on my country and y'all won't make my life harder. In fact, you'll give me land, you'll give me hotels in Gaza, you'll give me airports in America, you'll give me buildings in Ukraine. Looks like I'll win again. No, Trump, you don't win. You're the bad guy. If you're the bad guy, you lost. You're objectively the enemy of good. You did not win. And in fact, we won when Jesus was sacrificed for our sins. We won. We win. When we die, we go to heaven. We live in the greatest kingdom of all time. When you die, you go to the opposite. You're not going to enjoy it. But I'm not going to wait around for that. I'm going to do everything I can to stop these people within reason, non-violently. We have to say non-violently because these liars, these deceivers will say, oh, he said mean things. That means he wants to kill us. That's what they do. These are the worst people ever. They're tied with the worst person who's ever lived. That's the people that are running our country. That's the people that are running the world. Ain't it just a shame? You can talk about the satanic pedophiles that are ruining the planet and everyone on it. You can talk about it till you're blue in the face. Talk about it till you run out of water and you become dehydrated, and these people still don't care. And I don't know what to do about that other than keep talking about it. I got to think of new and interesting ways to talk about it, because if I talk about it the same way every time, it becomes monotonous and people stop listening. I mean, if you have any ideas how to stop the most powerful people in the world who are draining our money every year until we have no means to do anything about it, I guess y'all are waiting for that. Wait until we have no more money, no more land. We depend on them for everything, and then you're going to revolt. Why would you wait for that? Get it done now. And I know you'd rather have Republicans than Democrats because, as I've talked about before, Democrats destroy your country as quickly as possible when they're in power. Republicans destroy it slowly because they have to, it's all cosplay. You know what cosplay is? When you dress up as an elf and you go to the Renaissance fair, and everyone's like, oh, you're cosplaying as an elf. You're not really an elf. The Republican Party cosplays as the good guy for the political right, but they're not. Now, the Democrats, they're the good guys for the political left because the political left wants communism and they are communists. Now, unfortunately, if the political left's good guy, the Democrats, won, their lives would be completely destroyed. But they don't know that. And the Republicans are supposed to be for the republic, trying to do the opposite of communism, trying to have a republic where the people have the power and the people make decisions, and we all have a shared culture and shared religion and shared beliefs, and we get along and we remember our great, 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 great grandparents that helped build this country. That's supposed to be the Republican Party, but the Republican Party has been hijacked by a foreign nation, just like the Democrats. And that foreign nation happens to be genocidal, literally, satanic pedophiles, literally. We don't have anyone. So when you see someone like James Fishback running for governor of Florida, you better support him. I don't care if you live in Idaho. I don't care if you live in Washington, on the other end of the country. Share his stuff. Encourage people in Florida to vote for him. Get the buzz up. Click like, click share, watch it. That helps the algorithm, helps get the word out. For free, by the way. If you want to donate to their campaigns, do that. But if you don't want to do that, at least share the stuff, like the stuff. You got Casey Push. I don't know his last name. It's Push. I don't know. He's running for governor in Ohio. They're voting today. He's running against Vivek Ramaswamy, who is not an American ideologically. He knows everything about the founding fathers. Oh, he wears red, white, and blue. The dude's trying to import as many foreigners as possible to help his big corporate friends. He's a World Economic Forum puppet, okay? But looks like a Democrat's going to win Ohio, so good luck. At least Florida's, working between a Zionist Republican and an America First Republican. At least they're not going to get destroyed quickly. Although at this point, the Republicans seem to be doing damage just as quickly as the Democrats always have, which doesn't mean we should vote Democrat, but it does mean maybe we should stop looking at the establishment Democrat, the establishment Republican, and picking between them. Maybe we should, sorry, I choked him on the spit. Maybe we should be looking for third options and voting for the third option. Maybe we should do that. James Fishback is a third option. Pete Chambers ran for governor of Texas. He was a third option. Greg Abbott was the establishment Republican. There's going to be an establishment Democrat. We had the primary. I voted for Pete Chambers. He lost. Of course, there's also election integrity issues here in Texas. Surprise, surprise. You think they're going to easily let us replace their Zionist shills? No. No, they're going to do everything they can, whether it's legal or not, to stop a true America First patriot from winning any position of power. That's what they do. They control that freaking country, like I said. So either get serious about the satanic pedophile Zionist demons who are literally controlling our politicians and subverting our will. Get serious about that. Talk about it. Learn a little bit about it. Talk about it. It doesn't require much from you. Just have a little bit of courage. Have courage the size of a mustard seed. A little bit of courage. That's all it takes. Type the thing on the internet. Bring it up in a conversation. If you don't know much about it, yeah, man, I think the biggest problem is satanic pedophiles controlling our government. If someone says, give me all the details about that, just say, I don't know all the details. It's very complicated. I'll send you some videos. That's it. Problem solved. You're done. You did your duty. You're helping to save us from horrific death and enslavement. Consider it. Just consider it. That's all I ask. At least think about doing it. If you don't even think about it, think about it. And if you can post about it on social media, share videos, bring it up in conversations, do that. And if you're really capable, run for some office. If you're an intelligent person with money and means, run. Hell, maybe I should run for some sort of office. I'm not super intelligent. I don't have any money. But if no one else is doing it, I don't know. I'm not to that point. I don't want to be governed by me. I'm not super capable. I mean, I have good intentions. I want a Christian nation. I think I would do well because I wouldn't be making any decisions. I'd be asking smart people based on what the people I represent want. But whatever. I'm not thinking about running for anything right now. But I'll tell you this is going to sound like a cop-out and an excuse. That's fine. If I had a genius level IQ and I was worth $500,000, all I would be thinking about was running for Congress or something. Senate, Congress, governor. I'm a direct descendant of the last president of Texas. Governing's in my blood. But please ruminate on the things I told you today, specifically about the importance of exposing and pushing for the justice to be served to the satanic pedophile Zionist demons that are attempting to enslave us, drain all of our wealth. Every year that goes by, we're going to have less money, less power to fight back. Okay? Don't wait till it's too late. It might be too late, but it just gets worse and worse the longer we wait. So step up to the plate. You might not hit a home run. You may not hit a triple, a double. You may not hit a single. Maybe you do a sacrifice bunt. Maybe you move someone from first to second. I don't know. I'm also not good at baseball analogies because I don't know the deep strategies of it. I also care more about justice for satanic pedophiles than I do about baseball. Isn't that crazy? Maybe that was a bad point. And I know I made some bad points today, but I made some good ones too. Y'all be good.